The COVID-19 epidemic is currently getting complicated in the Middle East. In Oman, the total number of COVID-19 infections as of mid-May was over 4,000. The majority of cases are foreigners living in Oman, accounting for 70%. The number of recovery cases is 1,280 and 17 deaths have been reported. Oman has implemented unprecedented measures to prevent the COVID-19 epidemic, such as suspending all flights, closing and suspending all activities except for basic and essential activities, restricting travel, encouraging people to stay at home, banning crowded gatherings even at the family level. In the face of positive developments in the epidemic situation in several countries around the world, Oman has restarted import and export activities with these countries. Facing complicated situation and increasing spread of diseases in the Middle East in general and in Oman in particular, many agencies and organizations in Vietnam have contributed and supported medical protective materials to help the people of Oman overcome this COVID-19 pandemic. The assistance from the Vietnamese side to the Omani people is meaningful because a true friend is always with you in difficult circumstances. Greetings from Sharing Vietnam on VTC 10 Net Việt. Vietnam and the Sultanate of Oman have a tradition of a lasting friendship and strategic partnership. In the context of the complicated COVID-19 epidemic in both countries, the cooperation and mutual assistance at this time is very important. In today's program, we have invited Mr. Saleh Mohammed Ahmed Ansuri, Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman to Vietnam, to share more about this topic. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us. In light of the complex developments of the COVID-19 pandemic in the Middle East, can you inform us of the current situation of the epidemic spread in the Sultanate? What are the measures taken by the government of the Sultanate to respond to the pandemic in order to control it?
Since the COVID-19 pandemic started to spread in the world, including the Sultanate of Oman, the Sultanate has formed a higher committee headed by His Excellencies, the Minister of Interior, to prepare a daily assessment of the pandemic situation, based on which the committee issues statements and decisions in the country. These measures gradually increase in intensity based on field assessment. As the number of infected cases increased, the committee took decisions to shut down all activities except basic and essential activities, restrict people's mobilizations, and urged them to stay home, and prohibited any large gatherings even at family level. As the pandemic reached its peak, with daily average number of new cases of about 100, and the total of registered cases had reached 4,019, most of whom, 70%, are foreign expatriates residing in Oman. The recovery cases have also increased and reached 1,280. With current procedures, we hope that the pandemic will be under control in the coming days, especially when all medical capabilities in Sultanate have been utilized to confront the COVID-19, as well as the provided medical assistance by friendly countries such as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, the People's Republic of China, and other friendly countries.
Your Excellency is currently living and working in Hanoi, Vietnam during the period of the COVID-19 pandemic. So could you let us know about your opinion and feelings toward the Vietnamese people in particular? What is your opinion on the measures taken and the efforts of the Vietnamese government and people to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, especially since it has been under control in Vietnam?
Firstly, we must express our high appreciation and deep respect for the Vietnamese people who are striving to achieve security, stability, development, and welfare, as well as your seriousness and diligence to build the country. Hence, we are not surprised by your success in facing this pandemic COVID-19 and control it effectively, and soon recover to the normal life. Although Vietnam has a common border with the country from which the pandemic originated, People's Republic of China, the fast measures taken by Vietnam under supervision of His Excellency's Prime Minister Mr. Nguyễn Xuân Phúc to confront the pandemic by closing the borders, imposing social distance, wearing protective masks, and suspending activities, all of which have limited the spread of the pandemic, effectively controlled it, and yielded impressive results. Other countries can learn from Vietnam's experiences in this regard.
ينبغي على مختلف الدول العالم أن تستفيد من هذا النموذج.
In the early days of the fight against COVID-19 in Vietnam, when the number of domestic masks was still extremely scarce, the Vietnam-Oman Investment Joint Stock Venture (VOI) and IKEA Pharmaceutical Group took an active part in providing protection gears and hundreds of thousands of medical masks directly to doctors, nurses, and armed forces in the front line to prevent and combat COVID-19. Facing the complicated situation and the increasing spread of diseases in the Middle East in general and in Oman in particular, VOI and IKEA continue to contribute medical protective materials to help the people of Oman overcome this COVID-19 pandemic.
Chúng ta cũng biết là Oman vừa rồi cũng là một trong đất nước dầu mỏ nên là cũng gặp những khó khăn riêng về cái việc là giảm giá dầu mỏ, nên chúng tôi cũng muốn góp sức mình của nhân dân Việt Nam tới nhân dân Oman một cái công sức của chúng tôi để hy vọng rằng nhân dân Oman sẽ vượt qua thật nhanh chóng cái đại dịch lần này.
The Vietnam-Oman Investment Joint Stock Company (VOI) is considered as a bright spot in the economic cooperation between Vietnam and Oman. VOI was established in 2008 and is an important joint venture between the State General Reserve Fund of Oman (SGRF) and the State Capital Investment Corporation of Vietnam (SCIC). After more than 10 years of establishment, VOI has disbursed more than $250 million in Vietnam economy, focusing on essential sectors such as high-tech agriculture, toll road, water treatment plants, renewable energy, pharmaceutical and healthcare, education, etc. Some flagship investments include projects of international importance such as Duong River Service Water Plant, Trung Lương Mỹ Thuận Expressway, Long An Solar Farms, etc. In addition, VOI also invests in the field of health and social security in cooperation with a strategic partner, IKEA Pharmaceuticals, a prestigious corporation producing and trading pharmaceuticals and medical supplies, including sterilizing masks under European standards.
Oman và chọn Việt Nam coi như một đối tác chiến lược tại vùng Đông Nam Á. Thì một trong những cái mục tiêu của Oman thì là rất là muốn là tạo là giao thương mại giữa hai nước. Thì ví dụ như bây giờ là ngay cả khẩu trang chẳng hạn, thì là chúng ta tạo một cái là trao đổi thông tin, trao đổi kiến thức, cũng như là tiềm năng là có thể là xuất khẩu là sang bên Oman. Ngược lại, phía Oman thì cũng rất là mạnh về những cái liên quan đến như là về dầu hỏa, những cái liên quan năng lượng, thì những cái đấy cũng có thể hỗ trợ Việt Nam về từ mặt về kiến thức cũng như là trao đổi kinh nghiệm.
Vietnam and the Sultanate of Oman have a tradition of long-lasting, friendly cooperative traditions and strategic partnerships. The two countries constantly support each other to maintain their leadership roles in the Southeast Asia and the Middle East, as well as in the international arena. The two countries continue to maintain comprehensive development in various fields such as diplomacy, investment, trade, tourism, etc. through the annual meetings of the Vietnam-Oman Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee. Through this consultation and cooperation mechanism, the two countries are making efforts to remove barriers and deploy joint investment projects, increasing the two-way import and export turnover. Hello and welcome back to the online interview with Mr. Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman to Vietnam. Many countries around the world are currently facing difficulties in supplying medical and personal protection supplies and equipment, including medical masks. So how do you evaluate these gifts of medical supplies provided to the friendly people of Oman by the Vietnamese Oman Investment Company and IKEA Company for Pharmaceutical Products?
There's no doubt that the friendly countries who stand with the Sultanate of Oman and provide medical supplies in such difficult circumstances that we all face are greatly appreciated and respected by the Omani people. These aids from the friendly Vietnamese people to the Omani people have many meanings. As a true friend is the one who stands beside you in such difficult circumstances. And this kind gestures of Vietnamese people is highly appreciated by leadership and people of Oman. On their behalf, the embassies in Hanoi would like to express its deep gratitude to the friendly Vietnamese people. As emphasized by the officials led by His Excellencies, the President Nguyễn Phú Trọng, the principle of peaceful coexistence with all the peoples of the world is to achieve peace and prosperity in the regions and the world.
On this occasion, what would you say about the economic cooperation between Vietnam and Oman over the years? And in your opinion, what are the most potential sectors for the cooperation?
Vietnam and Oman have great development potentials in economic field. Currently, Vietnam and Oman have an investment company called VOI. VOI was established in 2008. VOI has invested heavily in Vietnam and Oman. There has been a great deal of cooperation between the two countries in the fields of highways, industry, and high-tech agriculture. We hope in the future there will be more effective cooperation.
At this time, the economic cooperation and mutual understanding between the people of Vietnam and Oman has not been up to the expectation. So what will be done in the future to boost the cooperation and also to enhance the visibility of Oman in Vietnam?
Cooperation between the two countries is a very important issue. Those are the cooperation in the fields of culture, trade, and meetings between the two sides. By promoting these issues, the relationship between the two countries will be strengthened and expanded. Currently, the exchange of goods between countries is maintained. Only human travel between countries is difficult. We highly appreciate Vietnam's effort in repelling the COVID-19 epidemic and bringing Vietnamese people back to normal life and work. We hope that in the coming time, Vietnam's international flights will reopen for international tourists to come to Vietnam. Vietnam is a very beautiful country and there are many beautiful scenes. The Vietnamese people are also very hospitable.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us, and we wish all the best to you and the people of Oman. And that's all we have for this episode of Sharing Vietnam today. For comment and feedback, don't hesitate to write to us at sharingvietnam@netvietttv.net. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.